so back. Welcome back to Real Mic, a vlogging podcast brought to you by N Morph Media. Real talk, we got our mics, and we're so happy it's Friday. Here's another throwaway question, or a question that'll like kind of throw you off probably.
Great.
What are real estate agents doing on social media that is embarrassing? What should they not be doing online?
Looking for an easy button. I'll say it that way. I feel like real estate agents and so many business owners, I mean, we all want an easy button to success. But the reality is there is no easy button. So what I see a lot of real estate agents do is they oversaturate from a social media aspect with the same things that all of the other agents are doing. But just like any other business, the very first question you always want to ask yourself, especially when starting a business, is what differentiates me, right? So I really feel like what I see agents do that they probably shouldn't be doing is posting static things, not mixing it up, not differentiating themselves, not having fun with the marketing as a whole, using AI the same way that all of the real estate agents are using AI. We see that a lot. And also utilizing AI to, like, I see a lot of agents utilize it and like, it doesn't even look like them. Like, it doesn't even look like their brand. It doesn't even look like them. And to me, it screams so loud to a consumer that I'm just pressing the easy button.
And I think too, like what you said about having fun with it is super important. Like I think in any industry or also, translating across to any business, you should definitely be having fun with the way that you're creating your online presence. Because, I mean, you have to have creative vision, or you have to have, something that aligns with your brand to kind of translate across wherever you're posting. If it's a website, if it's, a blog post or a newsletter, if it's social media, wherever you go. With being intentional, especially in the real estate industry, when they're on social media, what alternative should they be doing instead of posts that are just listed or just sold?
Well, again, I think real estate agents need to structure their business in a way that is hitting a lot of different things on a daily basis. So the beauty of real estate is, surprisingly, you don't necessarily have to work 40 hours a week, but you want to structure your systems and processes on the back end to where it's generating, the business and facilitating the needs in the background. You don't want to necessarily, stay in your office. The more that you can get in front of people, the more success that you're going to have. But that's not just sending a newsletter blast and hoping that it works. It's not just putting a reel together on a property and hoping that it flies. It takes intentional effort and different pieces of content over time for that leverage to work. A prime example is one of our great clients, Susan Ebling. She facilitates not only her listings, but she does car videos and explains what it's like to be a real estate agent. She shows the lifestyle. She shows so many different aspects and background to her that when a consumer watches her content, they know, A, she's experienced, she's been here in the area that she represents, making her the, most knowledgeable, most trustworthy. She knows her shit. Yeah. And that message is through and through within her content. But I also know Susan, and the back end side of her, and social media is just one of those pillars because she also prospects. She also goes and does other things that facilitate the success of her business model. And the agents that show up, especially new agents, and they get into the industry, but the reality is if you just chunk it out, pick the things that you want to focus on, how you want your business to look, and just focus on those things and go all in. Oh my gosh, the success level is night and day.
So, what is the best way from start to end that you think that a real estate agent can market a new listing?
So I think the best way that an agent can market a listing is first start by marketing themselves. So when you go into a listing appointment, it's a competitive game, right? You don't know if you're going to win the listing. So again, that comes with, what am I taking with me as the professional to have the seller pick me to represent their property, right? That comes with materials, printed materials. I am a huge fan of guidebooks, for example, because you can build a custom guidebook and walk your sellers through step by step what you bring to the table, what your brokerage brings to the table, what your team brings to the table, all this stuff. However, it could be other materials, other things. I see a lot of agents start discounting themselves here. And that is one thing you don't want to do. One piece that I would talk about in training a lot is, especially when it comes to like talking about commission and solidifying their value there to get that listing, never discount yourself, because like you bring value to the table regardless in your business. And it's no different than like any other industry. Like, am I going to go to the cheapest heart surgeon for a heart surgery? No. Am I going to go to the cheapest agent for representation on one of my, life's highest assets? No, because I want to protect that. When, an agent goes to a listing appointment with materials that differentiate themselves, branded stuff, they kind of go above and beyond for their clients. Again, going back to that experience, what am I taking? How am I making that client feel? Am I bringing a bottle of wine? Am I bringing flowers? Am I, doing something that no other agent is doing? Am I thinking about their kids? I see a lot of agents too, like they'll win listings just because they know that their client has kids first. Like they spend the time to research a client. I mean, anybody can look up anybody on social media, right? So it's just like, take the time to research what you're doing, who you're going to go talk to or whatever. And then you also have to pair that with the educational piece of the different structures of platforms like we've talked about in the past.
Yes.
There is so many like regulations and things that come with real estate, especially ads on Facebook, for example, versus the freedom of TikTok. Also, Facebook, like when an agent puts their video of a property or any content out about their business on Facebook, it's only going to really go to the follower count that they have. If you put it on TikTok or place it on YouTube Shorts, you're casting the widest net because the platform algorithm will push differently.
Right.
So you want to maintain that competitive advantage and consider all types of platforms and not just focus on Facebook because you're targeting the 40 to 60 to 70-year-olds. You want to do Facebook for that reason. You want to do Instagram for your generation. You want to do TikTok for up and coming generations. And honestly, in my opinion, TikTok is all generations at this point.
Yes.
Same with YouTube Shorts, things like that. But every platform piece has a different way to push that agent, push that property. And so you don't want to discount any of them for the reach, basically. And it's free.
It's free.
It's free. And it's very much the same thing for real estate agents. I just want to do like my intro, walk through the house. I'm going to give you 5 to 10 minutes of my time, and then I'm out and I'm on to the next thing. When the reality is I think that if agents approached every property going, okay, what is the uniqueness about this property? How can I sell this? How can I spin this and have fun with it? Yeah. If you just took a little bit of extra time, it would sell the property faster within the video.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be goofy. I'm really big on perception, especially when it comes to a real estate agent. So I'm not saying that you have to dress up as John Travolta and disco your way through the house. But instead of starting the video where it's just forward facing, just on your face, and you're standing by the door going, hey, this is 123 Main Street. Let me show you around. Start it differently. Get on the dock, get a cup of coffee, show what it's like to sit on the dock in an early morning. Use the property, turn on the sink, wash your hands, go like this to the camera.
Show the back of you walking into the house.
Yes, show the outside of the property. If they have a swing set, get on the damn swing. I mean, just do something different that elevates that property in a way that communicates emotionally with the consumer watching it, going, oh my God, babe, I want to sit on that dock. Don't you want to live there? It's been our dream to live at Lake of the Ozarks for 15 years, and we've been holding out and waiting. We can't wait anymore, which I would never tell anybody to wait for real estate. If you do it now, because values are only going to go up. But it's that piece that I think is missing all the time. It's that emotional connectivity with that property through the agent, which in my opinion is the agent's job to show. So again, going back to that differentiating thing, how are you going to differentiate yourself? And I see the agents that do fun videos, that have fun with it, that do all of those things, get twice, if not more, the sales in their year than the agents that just go, oh, I don't need, professional photos, or I'm just going to do kind of the standard walkthrough and let it be.
So would you say in that case that you think agents should treat their property videos the same way they would treat their client experience?
Yes. And I think that the most successful agents don't segregate properties. Like I hear real estate agents all the time that are go, oh, well, I'm not gonna represent land because it's not worth my time. And there is value in knowing what your hourly, time is. Like, I get that. But if you go and, especially here at Lake of the Ozarks, if you get a listing and you win the listing appointment for $1 million house and then turn around and go win another listing appointment for a $200,000 house, you approach each house the same with the experience for the client, or you're not doing your job, in my opinion.
Okay, so what's something about real estate or in the industry while you were working in it that took you a long time to learn, that like maybe over the course of 5 years it just took a while to finally like you realize, oh, this works this way? Or like what's something that you wish that you kind of knew going into it rather than having to learn?
Something that took me a while to understand was the same thing that I think a lot of business owners have to absorb and swallow and understand when it comes to being in the specific industry, or your own boss, or living in, that entrepreneurial mindset. And that is, there is no easy button. No one's going to come save you. What you give into your business every day is what it's going to give back. I'm very much, and you've heard me say it many times, like if you work on your business, 1% each day, that's better than zero. I spend a lot of time with real estate agents and teams, especially in the Mix and Morph world with our discovery meetings or whatever, where I start talking about how we can impact their business and leveraging their exposure. And then it turns and morphs into that. And the reality is that with any business, not just real estate, you don't want to do it all. You feel like you have to do it all. And you feel like there's always this pull and like doom cloud over you that you're not doing enough and you're not going to be successful, and you get, FOMO, and you're looking at what everybody else is doing and you're comparing yourself. And the reality is you're not for everybody. Everybody is not for you. And if you just do you, and you focus on your activities that you're good at and pick 4 or 5 of them and just focus on the money making aspect, what's dollar productive, you're going to be fine. Because here's what I see on the flip side of that. I'll have an agent come in and they'll go, oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. And the reality is they're not busy at all. And then the agents that are not busy, the agents that are busy are never the ones that are sitting there going, I'm so busy. And it's because it's all intentional. You're intentional with your time. You're intentional for your business. So the agents that sit there and show up every day and sit at their desk and wonder why the phone doesn't ring are not the ones that are intentional. You have to be intentional. You have to show up for yourself, for your business every single day, because it's not going to show up for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the perception I've always gathered of the real estate industry, was that it's just this like cloud of kind of impending doom, and like there's like 10,000 million different things you can do and no one to give you any direction or be intentional about it. Like I've always just thought, like in my brain, especially before coming to work here with you, that like real estate was just like a lot harder than what it actually is.
Well, and that's the thing is real estate is not hard, but it is. Mm-hmm. And what makes real estate hard is avoiding all of the million ways that you can do it and focusing on what you're good at. Mm-hmm. But real estate is not easy. And that's something that I wish consumers would shift their perception on, is the importance of an agent, what an actual experienced agent brings to the table versus what just any agent on the street does, you want to be very selective with it, because agents who do the damn thing, like, they do it all and they do it well. And I have seen agents come in and be the statistic where they're in for 2 years and they drop out. And then I've seen agents come in so fresh, not really knowing what to do every day. And then 3 years down the road, they're multimillionaires. And those success stories are so incredible to watch. To watch a person come in with all of the doubt, that literally show up every day, and they get nervous, they're scared, they don't know where their next meal is gonna come from, they're working for commission, and then they just literally are so intentional with their business that it climbs and it escalates, and then their success happens. And when I watch somebody go from nothing to something, it's incredible. And real estate is one of the only industries where you can literally have an unlimited life and an unlimited income. And I think that it gets disenchanted. I think consumers, think that, oh, well, I don't need an agent and it's so easy and blah, 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 blah. And it gets a bad stigma. But real estate is a noble profession. It really is. And I think that more people need to realize that it's a noble profession. And I think that agents that do get that and bring the experience to the table, not only through their marketing, but just their business as a whole. I mean, I know agents that they're buying their own jets. They're buying, 4 or 5 properties. I mean, it's incredible the life that you can have if you just believe in yourself and you don't let your dreams be dreams.
Thanks for tuning in to Real Mic'd. A new episode goes live every other Friday. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. Comment down below for a chance to be featured in a Real Mic Spotlight.